I was out of breath and he almost got cussed out. But we made it. Oh my God. And then the funniest thing,
Sports moms, you ever have a practice and sometimes schedules can't overlap. Took my mount.
Sidebar, there was many permission slips and you told a permission slip story. So we had to leave the track early on the sideline. We're gonna jump right into our past events that happened this past week. If you are not or familiar or from Louisville, it was Derby week and it was a popping. The weather was hit and miss depending on the day, but I got to partake in a few of the Derby events. So we kicked off the week going to the Bootsy Badass concert. And we had a time. Okay, the music was good. He was in a lime green suit. Oh, y'all, he kicked off his shoes in the middle of the concert and talk about his what about these red bottoms? They tell me they make your feet hurt. And this lady massaged his feet while he was laying on the stage. Those faces. But that really did happen. Um Bootsy concert Sunday. Mario's birthday was Monday. Tuesday, we went to the track for 502 Day. Weather was amazing. Those are the best days to go, I think, because you can get a good seat covered if the weather's trash. But the weather was beautiful. Wednesday, we went to the Urban League Gala. That was our first time going. Our pastor was there. They gave the opening prayer. Lots of who's who of Black excellence in the building. So definitely we'll be returning to at least those two events. And then we capped off our week. Well, Mario got invited to Oaks.
okay, Tanisha, so he did go by himself. Okay. Question answered. I was like, where's Lee's picture at?
Explain. We need the details behind that.
Okay, you gotta not even So his old coworker invited him. They had an extra ticket. And I was like, oh, of course, once in a lifetime chance to go because them tickets ain't cheap. So I couldn't feel no type of way. I had to be the photographer and send him off like he was going to prom, make sure he got his pictures, dropped him off where he needs to be dropped off.
Oh, she was chauffeur and photographer.
All right.
But you're gonna tell me all the details when we get back. So we're gonna have some tea time afterwards. Okay. So that's all I had to look forward to. And he enjoyed himself and brought home a whole bunch of cups and said it was a good experience. So that was Friday. And then Saturday, we went to the Oaks and Legends party. I believe don't misquote me, hosted, sponsored by, what's that boy's name?
Mm.
Left me that fast. From here, used to play for the Lakers. Mm-hmm.
Not D'Angelo Russell.
Yes, him. That was his party. That was his party. Sorry to that man. I bumped into you at the party, and that was rude. But it was a fabulous event. Just keep doing what you're doing. Fabulous event. We ran into some church folks every event, so that was nice. They saved us a seat at this table, and I got to sit the whole night, so that was nice. And I ran into Shalissa and her boo thing. And we took some pictures, and then that was it. And went to church this morning. That's why I got on my derby fit today.
Yeah, because you kept Pastor can't see you out derby and you're not showing up for church.
He called somebody out today too. He was like, and so had the nerve to be taking video because I thought it was a picture. Video of me walking out of an event that I was at. He was at the same event we was at because we seen him. And they say, Pastor, you better be at church tomorrow. And look at 9:00, and I don't even see them. They got an hour. They better be in here.
Exactly. You can't be out derby and not go to church.
And you call your pastor out. Like,
yeah. Oh my gosh. And we got home at like 2:00, and I was like, oh my gosh, I guess 4 hours of sleep is enough. But yeah, we made it to church. One of Darian's friends wanted to go experience the net. So he had his parents drop him off over here, and he went to church with us this morning. So, and we're done for the day besides this. And then we're going to see the MJ movie. So I'm tired, but it was a good week. I don't know what happened in my child's sports life because he had band. And his auntie will be able to talk about that because we was outside. Okay. So I will pass it to Tanisha to do her cap on the last week's event.
Trayden kicked off his flag football practice. So it was good. It was right after school. So they let the kids stay after, which was helpful, even though I still had to pick up my little kindergartner. So the first day, me and Keslin sat in the car and waited until they came outside, or at least where I thought they was going to be outside. But sports moms, if you ever have a practice and, sometimes schedules can't overlap, I took my mountain bike with me and I rode around the school. Now, Keslin also had her bike, mind you. So I'm determined because, Zoe's been motivating. We got to hit this 13 miler coming up for Juneteenth. So I've been trying to get my fitness in. And we ride probably up first lap. I was like, Mama, I can't do this. I'm tired. I'm like, here we go. So I was legit. I don't know why I was thinking she would coast with me all the way through and we'd be able to, she'd take her breaks or stop at the park, but I thought we'd make it further than what we did. And so I tried to put her on my bike with me. She was too scared to do that. And then she ended up going to the playground and I was just like circling around. And then we was back in the back, finally watching Trayden's practice. And normally I can get at least 3.5 miles in 30 minutes. It was an hour and I got 4 miles in. And I was like, man, just imagine what I would have done if Keslin wasn't there. But so all in all, roll up at the practice, send a change of clothes to school with Trayden. Pull up in the back parking lot. I'm looking for him. Can't find him. I see the hair. Bruh. I scan the outfit. He's out there in his blue jeans that he wore to school and his Jordans. I was like, Trayden, have you ever played football in blue jeans or your Jordans? Why didn't they wouldn't let me change? They didn't tell me. You have to let them know. Ask them. Ask them next time. So he practiced the whole thing in blue jeans, and he was out there talking about, I almost had the flag, and I couldn't. I said, well, your skinny jeans, that's what slowed you down. And so next day was better. He didn't have them on. He had kept on his sweatpants because it was kind of chilly. But we're excited for the season start. First game is May 9th. Same time as Keslin's third basketball game. So there's overlap there, but William will probably be with Keslin and I will be with Trayden. And we'll meet up somewhere afterwards. But we're excited. It's been going well so far. And then let's see, Friday night, I was with the homies at Camp Spaceman. Yes, thank you, Celeste. So William had a gig there. It was with Mike Bandana. Oh my God. Had no idea where I was going. Celeste got me there. I got parked and I was scared to park anywhere because they put warnings out talking about don't park here, only park in the green. But then that IG story had expired, so I couldn't reference it by the time I got down there. So I had Celeste, my navigator, give me the address. And then when I got there, she stayed on the phone with me while I was walking through the alleys. It wasn't dark alleys. It was bright down there, but I was walking through the alleys and I was like, I think I know where I am. I think I'm here. And I walk in there and I was like, I'm on a list. It's for da-da-da-da-da. And I had to keep on re-explaining. And they was like, what? And then they're like, hold on, I don't think the artists get a +1 on the list. And they go get the guy who I didn't know who this guy was, but come over. He's like, who'd you say you was here for? And I was like, William Breckenridge. He's like, oh, yeah, you in. I was like, oh, okay. That quick. And I didn't mind, they apologized. I was like, we're sorry. And I was like, no, I get it. You're fine. Whatever. So I walked in and unfortunately I had missed William because the kids went for their first, I'll call it a double date sleepover. Not double date, but friends. Y'all's faces when I said double date. So I got there and it was very interesting because it was a hip hop rap theme all night, but then I felt like it was like that rap with that heavy metal on top of it because the way that they was getting hype and then bouncing around, as I was like, is this the new F the mother? Because I'm down for my, and I was like, So it was interesting. I did so much people watching, and I loved it all. And William was very engaged when the other bands was up for performance, seeing him like engage and get hype, and then everybody was coming up like, "Can I get a picture? Can I take a picture?" You know, giving him and his bandmates compliments. So it's good to see him in a different element and having fun while in that element. And yeah, and so the kids went over, Trayden and Kesslin. They have friends who are brothers and sisters too, right around the same age. So they had their first double sleepover. I didn't get any phone calls. Me and the mom we know each other well enough to how we handle each other's kids. She said they were good, you know, no trouble all night. They stayed up all night because Trayden was sending requests while I was at William's gig. Like, and then I think he called at one point too. Did you can you accept that? I was like, why is your son still up? And he was like, they ain't about to go to sleep probably till 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, and yesterday hung out with family on my mother-in-law's side. Ate some good food, had some good laughs, watched the bet. My mother-in-law actually picked the winning horse, so it's pretty exciting. She was hype, very hype. I don't think I've ever seen her that hype before. We kicked back, joked with the aunties and the uncles. It was a good time. It was a really good time. And then went to church today. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Amen.
Shout out to the new birth. We passed by and Jerry's like, that's where my auntie go to church.
New birth.
Funny. I know, BJ's because he saw it when it was on TV, and he was like, he worked with the dude a guy that used to go to church there who's deceased, but he like BJ like new birth. And he was like, yeah, it's the first pastor I've seen use iPad. I'm like, really, BJ?
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, new birth.
And next up, we have Celeste. What was your week like?
Baseball. And Fern Creek High School did win the 2026 district championship game over at, I say Whitfield. Game Changer was saying Whitefield Academy. There is an E in there. I don't know which one it is. So we're going to stick with Whitfield, but it's spelled Whitefield. So they won that game. I got to the game late because I got caught up in some tomfoolery at work. And when I got there, it looked like they started playing bad. But I got there just at the right time because they made a tremendous run and won the district championships. I didn't take no pictures, didn't have my camera because I almost didn't make it to the game. My nephew's band concert, which me and Alonzo attended, it was at White Pass, which it dawned on me when I went there. I'd never been in White Pass before. So I'm like, hey, Alonzo, get us to the band room. We walked all over that school. Kids was coming towards us. Kids was walking away. I didn't see no other parents. I was like, we're lost. But how can we be lost? He's like, I know where to go. We go up here. We go up there. Every dead end. He's like, oh, nope, that ain't where we're supposed to be. Then I see a door and it says stage, but I'm like, wait a minute. If I walk through this door, I'm going to be on the stage. I don't need to be on the stage. I need to be in the auditorium, the theater. Finally got there and he was like, let's go sit on the balcony. Nope, you missed your chance. That would have been awesome, but it was already 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock starts and I think the first band or quartet was Western. They were really good. The little boy was grooving on the saxophone. And then, No came out. Miss Pulley did her introduction and they sounded really good. Really good. So, I'm in my musical element. And then Darian calls me talking about where y'all at. Where you at? Oh, I'm in the car. These things is too long for not the car because the car was locked. No, I'm leaving because Miss Pulley told us to go home because these things is too long. So I'm just sitting there grooving to the tunes and I had to leave. So as I found my way out of the school, which we came out on the front, which was okay because I was parked right beside where the car rental line was. Came out on the front, walked around, got in, we went home. It was amazing. It was very, very good. Which, I never liked jazz because that's all our father used to listen to. But I think once you see it live, it's different. It's completely different. So I had a good time. The band sounded amazing. And, congratulations to all the kids because y'all was rocking it. Y'all was doing it. And then we went home. Is it something like y'all came over to Nisha? Because we ended up having pizza. And it was like I had kids from every age group, from senior in high school down to kindergarten.
Oh wow.
And we ate pizza and sat and just talked, and that was that.
I did not know you hadn't been to YPass, and my bad. That's
That's,
instructions. I could have provided a little bit more detail, but yeah, the front of the building is the auditorium.
yeah. Because I asked your son, because I knew the concert was at YPass. So when we driving down there, of course, he had to stop and get them something to eat. And I was like, so where we going? He's like, no. I was like, you performing it? No, in the cafeteria or the band room? He's like, no, I'm going to know. You're not going to know. You going to YPass. How do I get where I need to be? I need to park as close as I need to be to where I need to be. You gonna park right here, but he never told me how to get there. So I had to rely on Alonzo because Darian went in to know, but ended up at YPass, which makes sense. But yeah, Alonzo got me there. I was out of breath and he almost got cussed out, but we made it. Oh my God. And then the funniest thing of the whole concert, because it's parents and grandparents there. Somebody was recording it. And then, it got real quiet. And I guess they tried to replay their video, but forgot to turn their phone down. You hear the band start playing all over again. And Alonzo just looks at me and he's like, I was like, that is not me. It's somebody behind me. And then it happened again. And everybody just started laughing because,
oh my God.
Put your phone on mute. Just turn the volume all the way down. You can listen to it when you get to the car.
Yeah, the things I love is when they make the announcements for people to turn their phones off, silence them, and then 20 minutes later, somebody's phone's going off. Like,
yes.
Even if you forgot, you had a reminder. Like,
yes. And when you could hear them laugh too, because when you heard the band stop playing, and then all of a sudden you hear them playing again, somebody behind me was like, I was like, see, it wasn't me, Alonzo, because I know every instrument in the book. And when I started doing all the noises from the instrument, Alonzo was like, you're loud. I'll never sit with you again. This is why I don't sit with you nowhere, because you be making noises.
He be cutting up on stage. So, I mean, apples for apples.
And when Larry Sears was cutting up at the last concert, I'm like, are you going to commentate the whole thing? Like, what are we doing? This is a concert.
I'm happy I couldn't hear him because, whoo, Jesus.
Yeah. But it was good. I might have to go again, when I can enjoy it and don't have kids rushing me somewhere.
There will be plenty next year. No worries. Plenty.
Yeah, this woman had her big old camera lens, and I was like, I should have brought my camera. She had one of them like $3,000 camera lenses, and I'm not there yet.
We're not there yet. It's okay.
But yeah, that was my past week.
All right. Well, that will sum it up for Sisters on the Sidelines. Stay tuned as we talk about our upcoming events.
And now the Sisters on the Sidelines will start with their upcoming events for May. And having a senior athlete in high school during the month of May has got to be the most chaotic thing I've experienced in a while. So the rundown of Dalen's schedule for May, they sent a packet and a plethora of things home, and each thing has a separate permission slip to go with it. Yes, girl. So starting off May 5th, 6:30 p.m. is honor senior night at Fern Creek Christian. To me, I guess this generation, is that what we're going to call it? Because senior honors to me means you got good grades. They wouldn't honor in whole football teams and athletes. So I was like, cool, we ain't going to attend that one. We don't have to. But I got an email that said you're invited. And I'm like, ow. So I read the email, sent it to Dale, and I'm like, hey, because you told me you wasn't going to this. Now we got this May the 5th at 6:30. He's like, it's probably for football. It is a group recognition. It might be for football and baseball, but he has to be there. May 12th is the Bell Cruise for the seniors. That is 6:30 to 8:30 also. Was there a permission slip for that? I feel like it was because I filled it out and did it wrong. But, these kids just be giving you stuff and be like, I need you to sign this. And then they don't tell you. But I'm pretty sure they're going to be leaving. It's the Bella Louisville Cruise from 6:30 to 8:30. They can board between 6 and 6:30. I just got to get him down there. Permission slip for that. Senior prom is May 16th at Cardinal Stadium from 8 to 11. There's also a permission slip for that. Prom tickets are $50 per person. We still have to get a suit. The guest has her dress, nails done, hair did, everything big. It's going to be real cute. May 18th is the what?
The girlfriend.
The girlfriend. Hair ruse.
Put some respect on her name, though.
She showed me her nails the other day. They're all matchy. Dalen, I still have not done his hair. He's not shaved his beard. We don't have a suit. We don't have shoes, but y'all pray for us. We still have time. May 18th, they're having a senior teach day where you can teach with one of your favorite teachers. You get to teach the class. Dalen said he was going to pick PE, but I think his PE no, it was, who told me that? It might have been RJ. They was trying to teach PE because that way you could just stay in PE all day, but the PE teacher was like 9 kids have asked for that, so I don't know. May 20th, they have graduation practice at school, but it's also a senior blackout day, so the seniors have to wear their black senior shirts. My son's got ripped in half doing the senior assassin thingy. I think he's got another one. I don't know. We'll have to see. May 21st at 10 o'clock is graduation at Freedom Hall. They will be taking a bus there. I filled out for him to ride the bus, even though I know he'll probably be riding with his brother from another mother. You never know. 22nd, they do the walkthrough of the high school. And I had to sign a permission slip for him to walk through the high school. So I guess you get to walk by all the juniors and sophomores and freshmen, get to see you. You get to stop by all of your teachers' rooms. For some reason, I thought they walked through the elementary school too. And I was telling Alonzo, and then I was like, you don't even go to school there no more. Why am I talking to you about this? That's on the 22nd. 27th at 9 a.m. must arrive by 8:15 a.m. is graduation at Freedom Hall. All are welcome. There's no head count. There's no tickets. There's no seating limit. But the Fern Creek graduation will be May 27th, which I think is a Wednesday, at 9 a.m. Yeah.
It's the last day of school, the 22nd.
I don't know. I have noted.
Yes,
it
is Wednesday. It's the 22nd.
It's almost like, why are they doing a walkthrough after graduation? But
they graduate a week after they get out of school.
I know.
Was it like that for us?
You, Celeste, I think you said graduation. I think rehearsal is the 21st, but you said graduation, and I was totally confused because I was like, I don't have the 21st on my calendar, and I
they do a graduation practice at the school, and then they do a graduation practice at Freedom Hall, and then they graduate.
Okay, that makes sense. Sidebar, there was many permission slips, and you told a permission slip story. So we had to leave the track early because Darian forgot to get his permission slip signed. And it was perfectly planned out. We was there Tuesday. He had band, then he had track, and then we was gonna go to the other band meeting at YPass. And then he sent us this soliloquy paragraph about, well, can I take accountability for not submitting this turning this application in, and it is my fault. But can y'all get here by 5 o'clock, please? You just rearranged my whole life within one text message. Now I got to pace myself to walk out of this track. It's going to take 20 minutes to walk out of here. I got to make sure I get to you before 5 o'clock, just so you can hand me a piece of paper and then go to your next event. And now I got to sit down here for an hour. Sorry, that just brought up old stuff, but I just had to share because you said something about permission slips. Yes. And Tanisha, now we'll hear from you and your
I know everybody. Okay, so charisma happened last week, and I'm just like, this is the blessing to having kids late, is you get to hear all of this and at least be somewhat prepared, even though it probably still rock me the same way. But I just be like, whew, I'm learning. Anywho, upcoming for me is pretty much all the baseball and graduation events listed because I will be there as the auntie. I have a prom send off for my other nephew. Xavier's prom is Friday, so double booked that day, and I text Desiree and I was like, Auntie is double booked this day. Can I come over there early? Because I do not want to miss Xavier's prom send off. And it's also Dalen's senior night in baseball. And she was like, yes, y'all can come over early. So we're gonna be boom bam all the way from one side of town to the other to support the nephews. And then we have more flag football practice, first official game. We still don't know what position Trayden's playing yet, but either way, we're excited. And Kesslin has her third game. I really don't have too much going on for me this week. Yeah. Oh, track and field practice. On top of that, yeah. Tanisha's coasting through the week just with practices, not a lot of events. Hopefully I can get some housework done. Anybody started on the outside gardens, outside landscaping?
No. Well, I cut down the bush by Alonzo's window, but that's about it.
Yeah. I need my those two young men that promised me some landscaping. I need them to come see me. Breedlove and Burton.
Girl, I'll text you their phone numbers. Well, you already got Dalen's. Oh.
Well, speaking of landscaping, sorry to transition, but yes, we are this week, allegedly, we are getting our shed taken down. There is a big hole underneath it where water has been running underneath. It's caused a big hole under my neighbor's fence. She can't even put her dogs outside. I seen the man who was mowing her yard the other day, and I was watching him. I was like, "Oh, I wonder what he gonna say when he see that hole." And I was upstairs in the other room, and I looked at his face, and he was like, "So yeah, we're gonna get that fixed."
So it's just like, is it just like a hole, like a ditch?
Where are you from? Miami in the ditch.
The ditch. I talked to Landon too long that day. It's rubbing off.
Oh my God.
So is it just like a whole ditch, or is it like water still rolling through? Or
yeah, so if I could give some visuals, this is the fence. This is the hole going under the fence. It goes down and then under, straight through the middle of the shed underneath it. So it's pretty much washed away all of that grounding underneath. But there is a huge hole with length. It's huge.
oh my God.
So that's coming up this week. Our favorite cousin who knows how to do all things is going to help. I won't put his name out there because he knows who he is.
Thank you, cousin.
Thank you.
I had to lay off on the phone calls for a minute, and then now I was like, he was over here just about every day for 2 weeks, and now other stuff then popped up, and I'm like, oh, time to hit him up.
Right. So as we approach the 5-minute mark, I'll finish up my upcoming events. Darian has a track meet tomorrow. I don't know if he has any band stuff this week. He might have some state. I don't know. I got to look at the thing. They send the emails out on Sundays. Track, maybe some band practices. I don't know. We'll just see what happens this week.
He has a spring concert the 7th.
Oh, and he has his 8th grade promotion on the 21st.
Yes. Next, I got some time for that one. Something else is happening this week.
Oh, I did see that. Okay.
The concert, and then Friday he has his 8th grade formal. So I will not be at any other events because I have to be there. He got his suit jacket, shoes. So he gonna be cute. But other than that, I start my new job this week, tomorrow. I went from having 0 meetings to having a full day of meetings tomorrow. So that'll be get to meet lots of people. And I'll be in meetings from pretty much 9 to like 4.
So she's saying, don't y'all bother me tomorrow. I'm unavailable.
I'm going to be. And my new leader was like, well, we don't really we don't really be on camera. And I was like, cool. And then he was like, but be camera ready Monday because I'm meeting his leader, which is cool because I haven't been on camera for a while since my interview. So
Her face gonna be beat. She gonna be serving.
Right.
yeah, this hair is not hurting like I thought it was going to be. Um, it's actually the back. So funny story, and then I'll close out. So I started to retie my hair, and of course I waited, and then Maria's like, the party started at 8 o'clock, and it's 7:30, and I only got halfway finished with my hair, so I had to turn this into a hairdo.
She said halfway. It looked like a quarter, girl.
So bad at myself, but whatever. It turned out cute. So I almost don't want to take it down, but I really need to finish retying my hair.
Yeah, I was looking at those pictures. I was like, did she do that or did she get that done? Because them locks is locked in and forming that just forgot my word, whatever the headpiece they wear for derby's called.
Fascinator.
Yeah.
I did my own
Fascinator. It's a homemade locked in fascinator.
And you got that. Clock that. Thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna take it down. But other upcoming events, we're going to see the MJ movie after we finish recording today. So that is upcoming events for the sisters on the sidelines. Did you have something to add?
Is that for me?
Tanisha's face was like, I want to say something, but she
Oh.
didn't say.
It was the way you said this, and he was talking about me being country, and I was like, okay.
That was my Bridgerton accent. I don't know what you're talking about. Was that country? Anywho, we're going to close out and we are heading into our segment of Hot Topics. Stay tuned. From Lady London. What was her name? That ain't right. Don't worry about it. Catch it in the next segment. Okay. Bye.
Lisa, the middle sister here, kicking us off with the hot topics. So we got some local hot topics and some national hot topics for y'all. National hot topics is voting and Spirit Airlines. Local is the Derby, Urban Life at the Omni. So we're going to kick it off with the Spirit Airlines. If you have not been keeping up with the news or on social media, which is my news outlet, you will find out that Spirit Airlines shut her down. Like, just shut it down. It was almost like Smoky Bones in Bowling Green, where you walk in and there's a sign on the door for employees and customers. So everybody who had a return trip from wherever you was this weekend, whether you was here at Churchill Downs, whether you was somewhere, anywhere, and your flight was canceled and you had to figure out a way to get home. Spirit Airlines. Everybody's go-to when it's time to book. Everybody's last minute when it's time to book. No longer, no more. Anybody want to chime in on that topic?
It ain't my always go to. I have never, but I ain't judging people who do. But it was economically wise, as far as affordability. I haven't experienced Spirit Airlines, but they had some flights that I had looked at, but like, what, that might be worth it. But I never committed. But this is crazy to think. I didn't think about people getting trapped. Not trapped, but I booked with Spirit. I had a round trip. Now what do I do? I did not think about that. But yeah, what about you, Celeste?
I've never flown Spirit, but again, I haven't flown in probably almost 20 years. I haven't flown since I flew from Florida to home when I lived in Florida. Anyway,
You flew to South Carolina.
No, South Carolina. But, I would always see the memes about the Spirit flights. And, people was like, it's a quick little getaway. You ain't got to spend a whole lot of money on the ticket. You get what you pay for, and you know that. But, as you know, I live on YouTube. People getting emails at 3 o'clock in the morning talking about your flights canceled. Hope you had a good trip, but we can't help. Like, what would you do? And you can go through other ones and get the little rescue rates and all that stuff, but the employees told me they got the same email and they're like, it hurts us the most to let y'all know, but you ain't got a job no more. Them planes just sitting on people's runways with no pilots, no nothing. Like, they just shut it down.
Yeah, that's crazy. The same thing, a similar situation happened with me and Mario. One of our flights got canceled when we was in Puerto Rico, and I was like, "Excuse me, what? I thought I was supposed to be getting ready to leave." And I'm like, "Well, maybe I can rebook, or maybe this is a joke. Hee hee hee. Funny, you cancel my flight, and there's not another one." And yeah, I've went through that before. Waking up to your flight being canceled, not fun at all.
That's crazy. And you know, the administration is trying to blame Joe Biden
What does he got to do with this?
because they turned down the agreement or didn't approve the agreement for Spirit and JetBlue to merge so many years ago. So they're saying if Joe Biden would have done that, then they wouldn't have went out of business. But everybody else is saying it's the prices for the fuel, which is
Uh,
getting ready to hit us,
Hmm.
everybody, real hard. But you know, all them people lost their jobs. It's crazy.
And my
How do you
HR
know?
brain goes to like, what was the labor laws that were allegedly conflicting? Because ain't there some 30-day rule you got to tell me to prepare?
Well, you know, I don't know if Donald Trump probably did away with that, but look at all them people that then got fired by email before. All them people at Oracle, everybody getting laid off by emails. Girl, I don't know.
This, I guess, the HR brain. Let me turn it on real fast. So, not that I got laid off, but I've been in. Yes, I have got laid off before. But the situation I just recently went through, there was a 30-day like notice. But I'm trying to think. No, because it was the previous situation. It was like talks of like layoffs, and oh my god, I will never forget. And one of my friends was in HR, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm up here making these packets for people who are getting laid off." And she's like, "It's a yellow piece of paper in there." Oh, girl, they walked me 5 blocks away, took me on the 6th floor to sit me down and open that folder that my friend had made, and I was like, this is the folder. I'm getting laid off." Then I had to walk 6 blocks back to the hospital to collect my things from the basement and then walk out. And this walk of shame and tears, just horrible. But anyway, sorry, that was triggering.
They are singing to each other. But
I was
yeah,
wondering. Yeah.
yeah. So to all the former Spirit employees out there, you're in our thoughts. We, the president needs to get talking to, in my opinion. Girl, because it was some Barack Obama reel that came up on my Instagram. I just watched it and cried, and just it was Barack with the children, Barack going to see the veterans, Barack. It's a different time now. Different time. Other
Yeah.
hot topics: the redistricting of Tennessee. Leave. I know Rio de Janeiro got the scoop on that. No, maybe not. Okay.
Put me on the spot there. No, we haven't had that family discussion quite yet, but yes, relatives are impacted by that redistricting. Um, just the overall vote that took place. It's like really trying to take time to process that. Like, how are we gonna be impacted? Like, okay, Tennessee is impacted. When is this gonna start rolling and hitting other states? What the midterm election is coming up? Like, who let me do my due diligence as a voting person to what can I do? What and even events this week of like all the stuff that the organizations that are trying to do better and push better. Um, and how can I get involved in those things versus just being in shock of like what is happening?
So our viewers that may not know what is happening, can you give some background detail on that for our viewers?
Oh, like, who is this AI voice coming in talking to me? Oh, it was my computer. Oh my god.
Wait, what do I need to expand on?
The redistricting.
I don't want to misspeak.
Oh
So
my God, I'm online now. Let me. I don't want to
okay,
miss it
yes.
either. So let me get it. But essentially what they did to Jasmine Crockett, trying to redistrict the black areas, so
Mhm.
there's no black voice to speak for the black people in the Senate.
They redraw the lines on the map so they can have more ownership and representation in their favor on the map. If you pull up a map or whatever the map is of Tennessee, it's all red, which is, depending on your perspective, good or bad.
I mean, it's all red in Kentucky too, except for Louisville.
So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah,
This is a lot, just a lot to process.
yeah. And it's going to transition Tennessee to a 9-0 Republican House advantage.
Which is
What was
crazy.
it previously?
7-2.
Oh Jesus!
Republican legislature reconfigured Nashville into 3 districts, causing a 7-2 advantage, which is now being pushed to a 9-0 advantage.
Mm-mm-mm.
The move follows a 2026 Supreme Court decision that weakened the Voting Rights Act, eliminating the requirement for Tennessee to maintain a majority minority district in Memphis. So
Oh,
they're trying to
Memphis.
take over Memphitown.
Mm.
Listening to you and trading, singing to each other.
Hilarious. But yeah, we're still processing, unpacking that. Any other insights? So we hit our 6 minute mark.
Yes, and other things, other updates are happening. Just, I mean, it's in recent as 2 hours ago because they're having a special session to get this redrawing of Tennessee done.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing. Moving in the right direction. Just hope that the right people are in the room.
And man,
So,
so it's the redistricting. What else did we talk about? The hot topics, the Omni. Since I did not partake in any derby events, I will ask my sisters, the outgoing outsiders, the outsidians, when you were in the moment, like, because we've all worked derby from behind that hot ass counter. But when you're in derby and you're dressed up and you got your makeup and your heels on, do you feel the separation in between the black derby and white derby?
It ain't just derby where you feel the separation from a hotel perspective. Um, it was interesting, and this was years ago, and yes, I'm retelling an old story, but we did the Bourbon Trail downtown. Went to plenty of hotels, plenty of restaurants. Walk up in the seal box. We just wanted to see what it was like, get that experience. Walk up in there, and I had, it might have been more than one, but one specifically, I remember Caucasian friend with me. And so we finally get up to the bar. So from the minute we stepped through, you just felt all heads turn because it was about 15 of us, predominantly black. And then we get up to the bar, and my friend was like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but does it feel like everybody's staring at us? And I was like, welcome to being black in America when you walk in a predominantly white establishment. And so then word started to trickle amongst the whole group, and it was like, yeah, we're gonna go. We don't like these vibes up in here. So they want your money, they want your culture, they want your lifestyle, but they don't want you in their establishment. So the experience that I heard from the Derby party at the Omni Hotel, I wasn't surprised because it's just like Black Lives Matter and all this and all that. And then here we go with turn that shit down. Y'all ain't welcome here. And it's wild because you see so many different generations of people speaking on previous generations saying, why are we still going through this? And then other people saying, I'm not surprised we still going through this. So it's just, that's why we got to do what we do best, start our own stuff, make it for us, and we gonna buy us.
Man.
factor.
And speaking to the us, so kudos to those who were impacted and still made a pivot to make the best of the situation. So major moves happening, and those in the other space that allow them to hold that space. Kudos to them as well for understanding the moment and being on the right side of the moment, because like that was not fair to the event, the prestige of people that was in there. Like that was unnecessary of whatever happened, whatever I've seen on social media. It just, I don't know what happened, but it just seems unjust from the perspective that is being shared.
Yes. Yeah, and kudos because the fact that it could have went to a different level, but everybody kept their composure respectfully. And I think the Black National Anthem was saying too.
Oh yes, girl. It reminded me of when we sung it that Thunder Over Louisville, because they was in there lifting every voice and singing.
And sometimes you just got to call on them, lift every voice.
Any other add-ons to our hot tops before we close out this segment?
Nothing I have, except for they've arrested David, where he David the singer. Y'all don't know?
Okay, too many Davids on the roster.
Exactly.
And it was about to get really confusing because his name is David, and the little girl he killed, her name is Celeste. So
yes.
the court documents have been released on that. He is in custody. It's, I'm going to say, a whole lot worse than I thought it was. It's very disturbing. But yeah.
Yeah, just the age. Once I heard 14, I was like, I can't do it because that's too close. What are we doing?
Yeah.
That was way too much.
Way too much. Way too much. And I don't know, but I'm just completely baffled that you can order chainsaws off of Amazon. I don't know why that is. I can't get over that.
Girl, you can order guns off the internet. What's the difference?
You order some chainsaws off of Amazon and had them shipped to your house. Just change the name.
That's dumb, but yeah. Not all criminals are smart.
Sure are not. But yeah, that wraps it up.
All righty. Well, it will close out this episode for this week. Thanks for tuning in to Sisters on the Sideline.